My name is Mary Mwangi with Data Integrated Limited. We run a payment platform known as Mobitil, which encompasses of our front end, which is a point of sale terminal, and a back end system, which is a login and a mobile app that tracks the transactions.
Mary, today we're talking about the cashless initiative for SACCOs, which are the private buses in Nairobi and in Kenya. Tell me how this started and what happened.
With the cashless system, the government encouraged the matatus to actually go cashless, where people would use cards.
And matatus are the private buses?
Yeah, matatus is the main transport in Kenya, which are private buses. There's the big matatus, which are the 52-seaters. Then there's the small ones, which are like 18 seats, about 18 people.
How did the cashless initiative start?
Yeah. The cashless initiative started with the government trying to implement a system where they can actually track transactions and to give it the advantage of cutting down on the corruption that goes on between the police and the matatus, and also to try and tame the matatus when it comes to how they behave on the road, overspeeding, making unscheduled stops.
What was the system proposed to take the matatus cashless?
The system proposed was that most matatus would go cashless by having cards, and the cards were supposed to be given out by banks or technology companies.
And those were in effect those were wallet cards?
It wasn't really wallet cards. It was actually NFC near field based cards, the ones you just tap on the machine on a reader, and then it can deduct the money.
And what was the problem with this card system?
The problem with the card system was that too many players came in and everybody wanted their cards to be the one being used, and they could not interoperate, meaning that if you were going to say 2 routes, you had to have a different card for each route.
And this is where you came in, wasn't it? Because you were able to offer interoperability.
Yeah, actually we weren't trying to offer interoperability. What we were trying to do was develop a point of sale terminal that could be used by multiple businesses, different businesses. So when we saw that in the newspapers, we said, hey, wait a minute, we can put our POSs out there for the buses to use. And then when we went to one of the meetings and we realized what they were trying to do, we thought, why shouldn't we just have one system that can read all cards? And so we went ahead and tried to develop a system that could read multiple cards.
And how did the banks with the cards that were interoperable react to that?
They weren't too happy. They didn't like the fact that, our system was working better than theirs were. And so it became very difficult for us to get a bank to partner with us, because if we did
to get a license,
it wasn't a license. It was a letter that they said you had to go get from Central Bank, a letter of no objection.
Yeah.
When we had developed our system, we wanted to go with one of those financial SACCOs that is not regulated by Central Bank. So by there being a law that you have to get the letter from Central Bank, we could not get it because our SACCO was not regulated by Central Bank, and Central Bank did not recognize that. So we were kind of left out in the cold.
But it had a silver lining, didn't it? Because...
Yeah, it did, because when you think about it, after we couldn't get in and the system failed, it didn't work out, some of the SACCOs came back to us and said, we liked your product, we liked what you were doing, can you create for us a management system for the buses, which is basically where most of their pain is just how do you keep track of the collections by the buses.
And this is collecting the cash at various points on the route.
Right, they have what they call offload. So when matatus or the buses are going on a certain road, they'll have like 3 stops where they can actually offload the cash, because they don't want the conductors and the buses carrying too much cash, because it could be also at risk, being robbed. So they have these like supervisors in certain stops that collect the money. Also through that collection, they get the insurance paid, as membership fees for the SACCOs is deducted at the same point. And so the main office of that SACCO tracks this money. But before we got into it, it was all manual. They would have books where they're writing out what is being collected, and then the office would not get all their collections.
So what was the impact on income collection after the systems have been implemented in a couple of SACCOs?
Actually, some of the SACCOs that we talked to, they said their income doubled or tripled just by having an automated system.
And are there other SACCOs who are now talking to you?
Lots of them, actually. We have a line of SACCOs that are really interested in the cash management system. And the benefit is that each SACCO collects it slightly a little bit different, and we're able to customize that system so that it deals with what they have on the ground. We just take that and make it from analog to an automated system.
And are you going to be able to put the systems on the buses, which was your original intention?
Actually, currently we're doing it. We're doing it in cash. We are also working towards where we can have different cards being put in. Like say you have a grocery card, any loyalty card that you have out there, we're going to be able to integrate and allow those to be used in the buses. You don't have to have a special transport card. If your card can be integrated somewhere, the card issuer can integrate with us, that your card can be used on the buses.